Neighborhoods and cities in the country continue to experience long periods of rolling blackouts as regular and long electricity outages force businesses and households on their knees. Today is World Theatre Day. Theatre communities and theatre lovers in Cameroon must now bypass the challenge of few theatre houses and actors to battle against COVID-19. Hello, good evening and welcome to the 7:30 News. Those were the headlines and I am Benin Bumagana.
I urge you once again to put on your face masks, to wash your hands regularly, and to consult a physician or any other health personnel if you notice any symptoms. This is the only way to save lives and to curb the spread of the virus.
Once again, good evening. Over the past days and weeks, there has been a persistent cry against regular electricity outages in neighborhoods and cities in the country, which have left people and cities in complete darkness for days. Since January 2021, there have also been numerous incidents on the electricity distribution networks. Ewane Epole has been finding out the alternative means city dwellers and business persons are putting in place to manage the electricity crisis.
Many Yaoundé neighborhoods are still without electricity. The constant power cuts is affecting economic activities, notably supermarkets and microfinance institutions.
We have been witnessing the power cuts of electricity since something like 2 weeks. We use the generator.
You are using the generator per day. You spend about 20,000 to 25,000 francs for the gas. We have things in fridge, for example, like this juice here and the other things that need energy.
Barbers and welders, among others, are in the same situation.
They don't even tell us why there's no light. Though at times we see that they cut it because they want to repair poles, but it is too much. Everything that we did is with lights. You cannot meet up with your appointment. It causes serious problem with your customers, and some of them don't understand that it is because of power failures. People that are able can buy generator. Some of us don't have generator, so we have difficult life when there's no light. It is very difficult for us.
According to officials of ENEO, since January 2021, there have been numerous incidents on the electricity distribution network, as well as ongoing works on the distribution lines, also causing disruption.
It is almost the same case in the three northern regions, but measures have been taken to address the constant power failure in the three northern regions of the country. The Minister of Water Resources and Energy, Gaston Elundu Esomba, reassured the population during a walking visit in Garua to evaluate the functioning of the newly installed thermal plant at the Jambutu neighborhood. Wilson Mengole with the details.
The epileptic power supply in the capital city of Garua has been a cause for concern. Machines have broken down and await maintenance are at fault. A vexing situation which Minister Gaston Elundu Esomba of Water and Energy came to assess in order to find solutions.
Today you have 15 machines which are down for maintenance. And this maintenance is taking time because you have problem in supply of spare.
He assured the public that a series of temporary measures have been put in place to electrify the region, especially sensitive areas such as hospitals, water distribution centers, and a host of others.
The good news is that the first shipping arrived yesterday, and next week we are waiting for 2 new shipping.
The wish of the population of the North region is that the situation of power failure is laid to rest.
The French Development Agency and partners have opted to boost Cameroon's cocoa production while fighting deforestation. This was the key message of a convention signed Saturday by Cameroon's Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Gabriel Mbairobe, and the French ambassador to Cameroon, His Excellency Christophe Guilou. Romeo Kenya reports.
Cocoa is the second most exploited resource in Cameroon. Over 600,000 farmers are involved in its cultivation. Its productivity has often been a hindrance to forestation. Through this convention between the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and the French Development Agency and Co., the protection of environment in cocoa cultivation is expected to be resolved.
Improve the quality of the cocoa. One of the challenges of the cocoa production in Cameroon is the quality. And through this convention, we'll help the cocoa farmers.
The pilot phase is termed Fix the Cocoa Project. The Sustainable Cocoa Program will first be experimented in Minduru, Upper Nyong Division, East Region.
To increase that production without deforestation. The increase of the culture of cacao will not be done on the expense of the forestry of this country.
The initiative is aimed at augmenting, valorizing and rendering cocoa production competitive in the world market.
Let's talk about Irish potatoes. Farmers in the Adamawa and other regions of the sector or the country are meeting in Gaundere to discuss ways of improving the production of this staple food in the country. The conference, organized by the International Potato Center, has identified the lack of improved seeds as a major setback to the production of Irish potatoes. Elise Wajibanmia completes that story from Gaundere.
Agricultural experts maintain that the national potato production in Cameroon is far below the annual average demanded on the local market. In order to change current trends by boosting Irish potato cultivation across the country, stakeholders of the sector have been brainstorming in Gaundere. Farmers present declared that challenges such as the difficult access to seed and non-utilization of improved seeds as well as lack of preservation techniques greatly affect production. The International Potato Center, in collaboration with the GIZ project, through the workshop expressed plans to set up farms of improved seeds and the use of modern techniques for a better preservation of the crop. The objective is to help farmers to increase their yields and income as well as improve crop management and value chain approach in Irish potato production.
Over in the South region, precisely in Kribi, the 14 students of Government Bilingual High School Kribi, who were dismissed for producing videos where students were dancing naked, have been called back to school. They were called back to resume school by the Minister of Secondary Education, Professor Nalova Lyonga, during a ceremony to receive a renovated building in the campus. Cyril Nwazeke reports on the raison d'etre of this second chance.
They are our children. They have a future. They should thus be given a chance. These are words from the Minister of Secondary Education, Professor Nalova Lyonga, as she calls on the 14 students who were involved in obscene and immoral videos that went viral on the internet to get back to school. By this act, the minister warned the said students, whom she personally received, to shun all forms of immorality and concentrate on their studies.
We have not dismissed the children. I hear people say, oh, they have dismissed children. They have dismissed the children. What are they going to do? People should not talk anyhow.
As she received the key of the renovated building that comprised 8 classrooms, offices and an equipped science laboratory built not far from it, Minister Nalova Lyonga thanked the PTA and said such examples should be emulated. The principal of the establishment, Jean-Maurice Noah, said it is their own way of accompanying the government in its quest to education for all.
And for those who still have problems getting their identity cards or other identification documents, the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication have come up with an application that can enable you monitor the production of your identity card. Let's see how this works in this report by Yuti Kaleli Songe.
Working with one's memory to find lost items such as identity cards and passports is made easier, especially when the memory fails. Find My Peers, an application now available on Play Store, comes to relieve humans from the task of racking the brain. All users need to do is download the app, then search for their missing personal documents.
We've put in place a team that finds missing documents and we upload it on our app. All the citizens who have lost such documents can download our app on Play Store to find out if our agents found it.
There are two options for users to locate their missing documents if found in the system. But first, they need to hit the start button.
After which a number will appear. He can either call the number or search via GPS.
The free application would only cost a minute of one's time as technology keeps making life facile for human beings.
And one of Cameroon's theatre artists that's talking about theatre and one of the main stories of our newscast. We go over to Ngok-Ketunjia, where elites of Ngok-Ketunjia division in the northwest region have agreed to be peace ambassadors in the country while seeking lasting solutions to the crisis witnessed in the region. The elites are meeting in the peace conference organized this Saturday in Yaoundé. More on that meeting with Romeo Kenye.
Under the banner of the Ngok-Ketunjia Development and Cultural Association, Ngodeka, they have converged to seek long-lasting solutions to the socio-political crisis rocking their division for the past 4 years now. There has been massive rural exodus and economic growth retarded back home.
The resolutions that will be taken here take down to Ngok-Ketunjia division and move round to all the villages.
For an immediate return to peace in Ngok-Ketunjia Division, Northwest Region, 3 commissions have been formed, that of peace, education and resolutions for effective implementation of concrete propositions at the peace conference.
The members of all the commissions are very seasoned educationists, seasoned administrators, and seasoned security officers. The DDR centers are there training people who don't even have jobs. They are training those who have left the field to come out.
Ngodeka has been existing since 2007. Members are spread across the national territory and beyond.
And women who are traditional chiefs in the South region have created an association of female traditional chiefs of the South region to better carry out their functions as custodians of the tradition. Though the association has been existing for 2 years, the chiefs met in the 3rd Ordinary General Assembly to revamp the activities of the association. For details, here is Beatrice Ngum.
Clad in their association's attire, these custodians of customs and traditions from some chiefdoms of the South have left their thrones in the Jah and Lobo, the Ntem Valley and Ocean divisions to converge on Yaoundé. Their mission is unique: brainstorm on some of the problems women who ascend to the throne in this part of the country face.
Women, we are chief of some whole village. People don't accept it very easily. So we first meet that problem, the problem of acceptance. So when we are together, we are strong. Every female chief comes with her problems and expose. Your sister can help you to find solution of your problem.
To make their leadership dynamic, those who have income-generating activities are encouraging their peers to go for projects that are economically yielding. They are in partnership with UN Women for the empowerment of female chiefs on entrepreneurship. This 3rd Ordinary General Assembly was therefore used to exhort these women to express their needs.
Despite our efforts, COVID-19 plunged many families into mourning and seriously hampered the functioning of our economy and society.
And thousands of students and lecturers of the University of Buea have been screened for COVID-19 in a bid to halt the spread of the disease in the university milieu. The screening exercise is organized in partnership with the Southwest Regional Delegation of Public Health. Boarding Sama was in Buea and brought back this report.
They wait in anxiety for each other's turn to get tested for COVID-19 on the campus of the University of Buea. Students and staff of this university for several weeks have been subjected to an on-campus systematic COVID-19 screening.
We invited members of our university community, staff and students, to present themselves for this massive screening.
In partnership with the Southwest Regional Delegation of Public Health, many staff and students of this university have been screened with positive cases detected. When samples are collected, they are taken to this laboratory on the campus of the university, after which the results are made available.
We receive instructions from the Prime Minister, and his instructions, of course, are linked to the availability of the testing kits. So even if we were to wish it to continue, it will not if we don't have the appropriate equipment.
The Vice-Chancellor of the University of Buea Friday visited the screening environment as he encouraged all and sundry to get involved in the collective anti-COVID-19 fight.
Over in the Northwest region, 3 newly appointed senior police officers to the Northwest region have been instructed to ensure peace and tranquility that it returns to the region, particularly the capital city, Bamenda. The order was given by the Northwest Regional Delegate for National Security, Wilson Elong-Jume, as he installed the police personnel. Details from Bamenda with you, Julius Naba.
Here present is your new commander, Regional Regiment for Highways and Traffic.
With such words, the Regional Delegate of National Security for the Northwest installed Mvomtai Onana David as Senior Superintendent of Police for the Regional Highways and Traffic Regiment, Bok Emmanuel Noe as Police Commissioner of the Central Police Station Bamenda, and Police Commissioner Yoko Hev Basilikeng as Commander of the Mobile Intervention Unit No. 6 Bamenda. Amongst other things, their mission is to ensure the restoration of peace in the Northwest at all costs.
Peace should come back to the Northwest region. Peace should come back to Mezam Division. And peace should come back to Bamenda within the shortest time possible.
The newly installed police personnel say they will utilize a lot of tact in attaining their objectives, given they are aware of the challenges that await them on the field.
Everybody knows the problem in the Northwest region. So we are here to work for the population.
The senior police officers solicit the collaboration of locals in a bid to attain their set goals.
In Douala, a PhD thesis on budgetary reforms in the CEMAC zone has been defended at the University of Douala by Achille Nestor Basahak. He established in his work that there is an existing correlation between the sub-regional budgetary law and internal budgetary laws of individual states. He concludes that the implementation of the reform in each CEMAC country is progressive and depends on national realities. Alphonse Abongwa tells us more.
It is a PhD thesis that scans through key budgetary reforms in CEMAC and compares their level of implementation in each of the 6 member countries. The candidate Achille Nestor Basahak defends the idea that the reforms in question place budgeting at the center of economic growth and development with key indicators.
Avant l'avènement de la réforme, c'était une gestion tatillonne basée sur ce qu'on a appelé la gestion des moyens. Avec la réforme, c'est la gestion par objectif, c'est la fixation des indicateurs. Il est question véritablement de faire du budget un levier pour la croissance économique et le développement de nos pays.
The thesis establishes disparities in levels of implementation of the CEMAC budgetary reforms and concludes that states need to keep an eye on these public finance indicators.
Nous avons une évolution ici qui fait que pour tous ces États, il y a une prescription, par exemple, de s'arrimer à la question de la budgétisation par programme, à l'efficacité que l'on appelle ici la performance. La Chambre des comptes est une prescription communautaire et qui va peut-être être nécessaire à un certain moment que l'État du Cameroun, par exemple, s'arrime à cela.
The jury awarded a candidate a mention très honorable, the highest grade in the French subsystem of education. It was just one among other PhD defenses scheduled for the day at the University of Douala.
Let's go back to Buea. We said that in the first canto that the campus of the University of Buea has been carrying out the massive COVID-19 screening for staff and students of the university. The Vice-Chancellor, Professor Horaz Ngamamanga, has been encouraging the students to take the test and continue observing barrier measures against COVID-19. Baldwin Sama is standing by at the laboratories of the University of Buea, the place to be with Professor Lucy Mande Ayamba for details. Hello, Baldwin.
Good evening and welcome to the campus of the University of Buea. We are actually in the laboratory for emerging infectious diseases here on the campus of the University of Buea, where we know we have had this ongoing screening of students and staff for the University of Buea as far as COVID-19 is concerned. We discuss about that with our guest tonight, Professor Lucy Mande Ayamba. She is the Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of research, cooperation and relations with the business world, and she's equally a medical microbiologist. Good evening to you, Professor.
Good evening, Mr. Saman Baldwin.
Explain to us, Professor, why this screening for COVID-19 at the campus of the University of Buea?
Thank you. As you are aware, COVID-19 is actually causing a scare in the society. And at the University of Buea, we are actually interested in knowing how many students, how many staff are presently infected with the virus. That is why we are doing this screening campaign, this mass screening campaign.
And what happens with those tested positive, given that the screening has been ongoing? What happens with those tested positive?
Well, for those who test positive, we are very lucky and thankful to the Regional Delegation for Public Health, because they have provided the health unit with medications. So whether staff or students who is found positive, they are advised to go to the health unit where they are cancelled and then put on treatment. Once they are put on treatment, they are actually advised to self-quarantine and return to campus after producing a negative COVID-19 test.
Thank you so much, Professor Lucy Mande Ayamba. She is a medical microbiologist and the Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of research here on the campus of the University of Buea. It has been systematic screening of the students and equally staff of the University of Buea, so as to get to know the status of these different persons to limit the spread of COVID-19 on the campus of this university, considered as the place to be. Back to you.
It is the place to be. Baldwin Samaf and Cayman. Let's talk theatre. Today is World Theatre Day. Theatre uses various forms of fine arts that involves live performance, actors and actresses to present before a live audience on a stage. No activities have been planned to mark the 2021 World Theatre Day in Cameroon due to the spread of COVID-19. That notwithstanding, theatre, arts and drama are said to be the gateway to the world of cinema and needs more attention. And over in the West region, the Bafoussam International Film Festival of Independent Filmmaking, otherwise known by its French acronym as FCIB, is on the way in the West Regional Capital. Activities to mark this cultural jamboree, placed under the patronage of Barrister Dr. Fotso Foster, have been launched. Chair Tebok reports.
The Bafoussam International Festival for Independent Films, now in its 9th edition, aims to register for posterity the rich cultural heritage of the West's pressmen were told in a news conference. Besides the objective of promoting independent films and encouraging cultural diversity, this edition is exploring other areas as well. A case in point is the creation of a cultural village that includes different disciplines, amongst which are culinary arts, playbacks, debate conference on this year's theme. Young stars from the Fumban Bosa Institute are putting on display their professionalism. On the other hand, competitions among schools dubbed Challenge Jeune constitute the other many attractions at the Bafoussam Film Festival. The matron, barrister Dr. Fotso Fotsin, has called for collaboration amongst actors as a sine qua non for success during the events. The festival theme is Film Festival as a factor for local developments.
One of Cameroon's theatre artists, humanist, comedian and lecturer Daniel Ndo, better known by his stage name as Uncle Chama, remains a force to reckon with in the theatre world in the country. The 73-year-old man of culture has been writing, performing and producing theatre pieces for 64 years. Emmanuela Vemnier had a chat with him and profiles the man who started his theatre journey at the age of 9. This is Emmanuela's report.
Lorsque tu m'appelles au mot en plein monde, ajoute Nîmes. Oui, pour que ça fasse homonyme.
Daniel Ndo, in his role as Uncle Tama, 64 years of stage performance have gone through, and the 73-year-old remains passionate for theatre art.
Uncle
Chama is a comic role. He makes people laugh by mimicking social problems of everyday life. I'm a writer of theatre works, producer of theatrical pieces, cinematographer, and everything in between.
At 9, he began this journey, which over the years saw him work with the best in the industry.
Joseph Kinge, my primary school teacher in Minganga in 1957, made me perform for the first time, for which I was paid 250 francs. I later worked with senior actors like Vondo Marcel Du and Amasan Koleda.
The man of culture, as he is called today, wears another cap. He wants the theatre art to continue after him.
I teach oral communication, which is primordial in stage performance. In theatre, you communicate verbally and through gestures. I also lecture diction and gestures for better communication.
Cinema, music, writing, and even dancing. Daniel Ndo does it all.
And the third athletics interclub meeting has taken off at the Japoma Stadium in Douala. Athletes from 4 clubs are racing for medals in the competition. They are Cameroon's champions FAP of Yaoundé, Cameroon Sport, the National Institute of Sports of Youth and Sports Club, and Athletes in Action. The meeting qualifies for the next African Athletics Championship in Algeria in June. Here now is an excerpt of the president of the Athletics Federation, Motomi Mome. Let us get it.
Most of our athletes have not recuperated because after most of them took part in the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope, and this is the second meeting within a month. We are just doing justice to ourselves by following our calendar, and most of the athletes are trying to perfect their performances, and our duty is to multiply as many competitions as possible. The athletes, on their part, have to show proof that they are working, so that when there is a competition, you come and, on a personal note, ameliorate your performances. And I think those who are doing it well, those who have the minimum rate that qualifies them for the Senior African Championship, will automatically represent Cameroon in Algeria. Those who have qualified for the Olympic Games, automatically they are going to represent Cameroon in Tokyo.
And it is with that excerpt by Emmanuel Motombi, the president of the Athletics Federation in the country, that we come to the end of this edition of the 7:30 News. Karine Olive Yabid will be here at 8:30 for the news. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. God bless you.
I urge you once again to put on your face masks, to wash your hands regularly, and to consult a physician or any other health personnel if you notice any symptoms. this is the only way to save lives and to curb the spread of the virus.
CRTV News, ici, toute l'info.